Hi everyone, welcome to Slob Mom Rehab. I'm Angela Yoshiko and I'm super excited to be talking to you today because this is episode 1 of Slob Mom Rehab and this has been a long time coming. I have been thinking about doing this forever, not really forever, but like a year and a half. And so here I am, I'm starting exactly where I am, and here's what I'm going to talk to you today about. I want to talk about just a few things. First, start wherever you are. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are in life, let's get started at being a better mom, at being a better you, about really getting to where you want to go. So I'm going to talk about starting where I am. And this is special and important to me because I've been thinking about starting Slob Mom Rehab for over a year and a half. And I thought, well, I can't get started until I have the perfect lights and I have a beautiful background and maybe lose a little weight first so I look cute on camera. And I have to get my makeup perfect and I just have to look really good because all those other podcasters look amazing, all the really popular ones. And I felt like I set the bar so high just to get started that I never got started. And then I just decided today, screw it, here we are, start where you are. That's so important. Wherever you are in life, if you have goals you want to achieve, don't think you can't get started until. Get started right now. You can do this. So here I am, starting Slob Mom Rehab episode 1 right now. The other thing I want to talk about is the number 1 rule of Slob Mom Rehab, which I'll share with you in a minute. And then also where I'm at right now with a lot of different things and kind of what I'm focusing on. Hopefully that will inspire you guys to share or pick something that you're focusing on and see it from beginning to end. Because there's so much information out there and so many things you can do to be a better mom, to be a better you, that it's really hard to pick something and actually start and finish it. And as a Slob Mom Rehab, I am all over the place and I am super messy. And as I'm making these videos, I'm sure I'm going to have tons of kid interruptions and screaming in the background, which is like rule number 1 in YouTube videos is like, make sure you have really good sound quality. Don't film when there's kids screaming in the background because nobody wants to listen to that. Please hold. I gotta go help a 2-year-old. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I helped that 2-year-old and then I made my 6-year-old super mad and then he threatened to hit his 4-year-old sister in the face. So here's the deal. I've got 4 kids. I work full time and then my husband stays home with the kids during the day. And so a lot of the times when I come home at night, I take on the responsibility of cooking dinner, helping clean up as much as I can, and parenting the kids and trying to give Tyler as big of a break as possible after spending all day with our 4 crazy kids. I mean, he does get to unload a couple of them at school during the day, but all that means is that they come home super tired. So I have 4 kids, 2, 4, 6, and 8. The oldest is a girl, so it's girl, boy, girl, boy. And, you know, parenting is hard, which is part of the reason I started Slob Mom Rehab. So parenting is really, really hard. And one of the things I'm working on, you know, starting where I'm at, is being a better mom. So a lot of what I'm going to write about, do shows about and do a podcast about is ways to be a better mom. And so I have been reading a couple of really good books. One of them is Siblings Without Rivalry, and that is it's an older book. It's by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish. And it has a lot of really good advice on helping your kids not fight and how your parenting and how you address each kid impacts that. So as I dig into that and practice that, I'll let you guys know how it goes and hopefully be able to share some really good advice there. I also listened to a really good podcast, the Broken Brain podcast with Drew Pruitt, and he had Jennifer Kalari on, and she talks about connected parenting and how it's so important to mirror our kids and validate them and have that empathy with them. So that's another thing I'm working on. And it is like really hard. So just now, I totally failed at that. My 6-year-old was just threatening to hit and I freaking lost my temper and just yelled at him. And now I feel like shit for it a little bit. So one of the things she talks about is how important it is to repair after you make a mistake. So I'm going to do that. I did a little bit of that repair, but I'm going to let him calm down. What's funny is that when I walked in the door this morning, Tyler and my 6-year-old Elliot were walking out of his bedroom and he'd clearly been crying. And Tyler was like, I just lost my temper with him, but I did the repair thing. And so it's just like Elliot's clearly really, really tired right now. This is his first year in kindergarten, and he's going all day, and he's just not getting enough sleep, and he's exhausted. And I still hear my 2-year-old screaming, so I'm going to go check on him again and hopefully be able to freaking finish one thought. Okay. And I'm back again. So the 3 things I want to talk about today are start where you're at, practice what you preach, and then let's pick something to focus on. So the start where you're at. I think I mentioned earlier, I can't remember because I've been interrupted so many times by kids, but I think I mentioned earlier that I didn't even want to start this until everything was perfect. But nothing in life will ever be perfect or totally ready for you to go. So just start exactly where you're at. So if you've been dreaming about starting a blog, or you want to start journaling, or you're ready to start losing weight, don't wait until certain criteria are met. Just start today. And if it's a little bit crappy and it's not the best, that's okay. If you start today and it's kind of terrible, then tomorrow will be a little bit better than that. And in 6 months, you'll look back and think, dang, that was awesome. I should have started earlier. I'm hoping that's what happens with me. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about is the number 1 rule of Slob Mom Rehab. Okay, so the number 1 rule of Slob Mom Rehab is practice what you preach. Do not be a hypocrite. So what that means is do not ask your kids to do something that you are not willing to do or that you are not currently really good at doing. So the biggest example I have for you right now that I am focusing on is I get on my kids' case constantly about cleaning their room, putting their clothes in the laundry basket, and what's the other thing? I had one more. Oh, making their bed. So those 3 things I am actually focusing on doing myself because, to be super, super honest, I am a slob mom and I am not very good at doing those things. I do not keep my room clean. I don't always put my clothes away, and I definitely do not make my bed every day. I have been doing a better job with that, but those are the 3 things I'm focusing on. So before I can even get started with keeping my room clean, I actually have to clean my room, which is almost impossible to do with 4 kids around and competing priorities. So basically what I'm doing is I'm picking one area of my room to clean every day and doing it. So last night I cleaned this section of my room. Oh, if you only saw what it looked like before, it was a disaster. And I've cleaned off my half of the headboard. Now, I have not cleaned off Tyler's half of the headboard, but that's another section for another day. It's also his area, so is it my place to clean it up? I don't know. Okay, so that's rule number 1. So after I work on this, then I'm going to start getting on my kids' case about cleaning. But really, I want to set a good example for them. I want to model for them. What does it look like to clean your room? What does it look like to keep your room clean? What does it mean to put your clothes away? And I talk about it. I was there constantly in and out of my room. Oh, what are you doing, Mom? Hey, can I help you? Yes, here's my goal. Here's my intention. I am working on keeping my room clean because it feels so good when it's clean. So that's the message that I'm modeling for them. And I'm hoping that before I ask them to do something, I can feel really good about knowing that, hey, I'm doing it too. And I know it sucks and cleaning is not fun, but I'm not going to ask them to do something I wouldn't do. It kind of makes me think back to playing sports growing up, and I would have these coaches that, not to be super judgmental as a actual slob that I am, but they would be really overweight, and I could tell that like they didn't exercise, they didn't run laps, and it was really hard for me to listen to them and to take them seriously and to have a good attitude about running and getting all the conditioning and getting in shape when I could tell these people were not doing it themselves. So like, what freaking hypocrites. So I don't want to be a hypocrite as a parent. So that's all I have for you right now. First video out the gate, Slob Mom Rehab. I'm Angela Yoshiko. The 3 things I want you to focus on this week before the next video comes out is start where you are, stop putting it off, and I'm sure we'll talk about that a lot more over and over and over as time goes on. Number 2, don't be a hypocrite. Don't ask your kids to do something that you're not willing to do or already doing a really good job at. Number 3, Pick something to focus on. So pick maybe one of those things that you feel like you're being a hypocrite and do it. So right now, I'm focusing on cleaning my room, putting my clothes away, and making my bed every day. And also, by making your bed, if that's one of the things that you want to focus on, you don't have to make it like a Pinterest beautiful comforter and a duvet and another blanket and like a candle. No, I'm literally talking about set the bar real low, pull the blankets up. So I'm going to show you how I make my bed every day. It's pretty awesome. So Tyler and I actually have started, not started, probably for several years now. We each have our own blanket in bed, and it has been a marriage saver. I love having my own blanket. I can use all of it. I can use part of it. I can kick half of it off without bothering him. So what we have here is my half of the bed, which has this awesome twins little blanket and just a blanket pulled up, and that counts as made. Now, here's Tyler's half of the bed. Definitely not made, but it's so easy to make your bed if you don't like overdo it. You don't have to make it perfect. It doesn't have to be the best. Just do it. So that's what I'm focusing on. Maybe I'll step up to like making it fancy or something, but that's not really likely. It's not really a priority for me. So again, this is video 1. I know it's garbage, but guess what? I started where I'm at, so I met that goal. Now I'm going to smash all these video clips together into hopefully one video and get it up to you. Okay, thanks for listening. Again, I'm Angela Yoshiko. Thanks for joining me at Slob Mom Rehab, and hopefully I will help you be a better mom by showing that your fellow slob moms are with you, and we can do this. Thanks. Bye.